Do you know the number one reason why people fail? It's not poverty. It's not bad luck. It's not even a lack of education. The number one reason people fail is because they complain. Yes, complaining. Think about it. How much time have you wasted in your life saying things like, my boss doesn't pay me enough, my family doesn't understand me, my city has no opportunities, the government is corrupt, I don't have time, I don't have money, I don't have connections? Be honest with yourself. How many times have you said these words? I said them too. I was the master of complaining. I remember walking out of job interviews, rejected again and again. Do you know the first thing I thought? Why is life so unfair? Why me? Let me tell you my story. I applied for 30 different jobs. Not one accepted me. 30. Can you imagine? Every single rejection felt like the world was telling me I was worthless. I remember the KFC interview. 24 people applied. 23 got the job. Who was the only one rejected? Me. That night, I lay in bed asking myself, why? Why me? Am I cursed? Am I not good enough even to fry chicken? I applied to Harvard 10 times. 10 times. Each time rejection, not even an interview. Just a letter saying no. At that time, I had two choices, complain or keep moving. But here's the truth I learned, and I want you to hear me carefully. Nobody cares about your complaints. When you complain, people will listen politely. They might even say, oh, I'm so sorry for you. But after 5 minutes, they move on. They go back to living their life. Your pain stays with you. Your excuses stay with you. Your complaints chain you down. And do you know the most dangerous thing? Complaining makes you blind. When you complain, you stop looking for solutions. You stop seeing opportunities. You stop asking, what can I do? And instead keep saying, why is this happening to me? That question, why me, has killed more dreams than failure ever will. Let me tell you something uncomfortable. Nobody is coming to save you. Not your boss, not your parents, not your government, not your friends. The moment you understand this, your life begins to change. I had to learn it the hard way. When I got rejected by every job, every school, every opportunity, I realized complaining won't change anything. I could sit in my room for 10 years and cry, and the world would not care. So I asked myself, if nobody will save me, then who will? And the answer was simple, me. The day I stopped complaining, I felt something powerful. I felt free. Because complaining keeps you weak, but responsibility makes you strong. Life is never going to get easier. Your boss will still be unfair. Your parents may still not understand. Your city may still have no opportunities. Your government may still be corrupt. But you can get stronger. And when you get stronger, all of those excuses become meaningless. So here is my challenge to you. The next time you feel like complaining, stop. Ask yourself one question. Has complaining ever solved even one of my problems? You already know the answer. Complaining has never built a business. Complaining has never made anyone rich. Complaining has never created success. The only thing complaining does is keep you stuck where you are. And if you stay where you are, don't expect your life to change, because change only begins the day you stop complaining. The moment you stop complaining, something powerful happens. You begin to see. You begin to see opportunities where others only see problems. You begin to see hope where others only see failure. You begin to see a future where others only see darkness. I was once just a poor teacher, earning $12 a month. No one believed in me. My English was broken. My degree was from an unknown school. In fact, many people laughed at me when I spoke. They said, this man will never achieve anything. And I'll be honest with you, it hurt. But I asked myself a different question. Instead of saying, why me? I said, what now? Most people look at their pain and they complain. But I chose to look at my pain and ask, how can I use this? Do you see the difference? One mindset keeps you weak, the other makes you unstoppable. In the 1990s, when I first saw the internet, I felt something. Everyone around me said, this is useless. It will never work here. They complained, we don't have the technology. We don't have the resources. We don't have the future. But when I looked at the internet, I didn't complain about what we didn't have. I imagined what we could create. I gathered 18 friends in my small apartment. We had no money. We had no office. We had no big investors. But we had one thing, belief. Belief that if we stopped complaining about what we didn't have, we could start building with what we did have. Let me tell you, those early days were painful. We made mistakes every single day. We failed almost every week. We ran out of money again and again. And every time we failed, I had two choices: complain or learn. And every time, I chose to learn. Do you understand how powerful this is? When you stop complaining, failure becomes your teacher. Every rejection becomes fuel. Every mistake becomes a step forward. That's how pain turns into power. Think about this. When people complain, they waste their energy on blaming. But when you stop complaining, you use that same energy to build. The energy of anger can destroy you if you complain, but the energy of anger can also drive you if you take responsibility. That's why I say, your pain is not your weakness. Your pain is your power. I was rejected from every job, and that pain gave me the power to create my own company. I was laughed at by investors, and that pain gave me the power to prove them wrong. I was told I was a failure, and that pain gave me the power to fight every single day until success had no choice but to listen. Listen carefully. Success does not come to those who complain. Success comes to those who transform their pain into action. So the next time life hurts you, don't waste time saying, "Why me?" Ask instead, "What now?" Because the truth is simple. Complaining makes you weaker. Responsibility makes you stronger. Complaining kills your creativity. Responsibility creates solutions. Complaining keeps you trapped. Responsibility sets you free. And that is how your pain becomes your power. Let me tell you a truth most people don't want to hear. The biggest prison in the world is not made of walls, it's made of complaints. Every time you say life is unfair, I didn't get the chance, I don't have support, you build another wall around yourself. And slowly, you become a prisoner of your own excuses. But the day you stop complaining, that's the day you break free. Think about Abraham Lincoln. He lost elections, he failed in business, he was ridiculed by society. People called him a loser, a failure. But instead of complaining, he kept trying. Again and again and again, and one day, that failure became one of the greatest presidents in history. Now let me ask you, how many times do you give up after failing once? Twice. Imagine if Lincoln had stopped after the first defeat, the second, the third. The world would have never known his name. Think about Oprah Winfrey, a child born into poverty, abused, broken. Everyone told her she would never make it. She could have complained, cried, and given up on life, but she didn't. She used her pain as fuel. She used her suffering as strength, and today she is not just successful, she is a voice of hope for millions of people. Or Thomas Edison. Do you know what 1,000 failures feels like? Not 10, not 100, 1,000. Most people would collapse. They would complain, it's impossible. But Edison didn't complain. He said, I found 1,000 ways that did not work. That is the mindset of champions. And because of him, today we live in light instead of darkness. Do you like fried chicken? Let me tell you something funny. Colonel Sanders, the man behind KFC, was rejected 1,009 times. Imagine that. People slammed the door in his face 1,009 times. But he didn't complain. He didn't give up. And on the 1,010th try, someone finally said yes. That's the difference between complaining and persistence. And Nelson Mandela, 27 years in prison. 27 years of cold walls, chains, and lost time. Most people would come out angry, bitter, destroyed. But Mandela came out stronger, wiser, more compassionate. He said, I will not waste my life complaining. I will use my life to rebuild a nation. That is why the world remembers his name. Now let me return to my own story. When I was rejected by Harvard 10 times, I could have complained. When I applied for 30 jobs and got rejected by all 30, I could have complained. When even KFC rejected me, I could have sat down and cried, the world is unfair. But instead, I said, good, this is my test. Let's see what I can create. And that's when I gathered my 18 friends. That's when I started building. That's when my failures became my fuel. That's when my pain turned into my power. So let me tell you something very clearly. Complaining does not change your life. Action does. Look at your life right now. Your bills are not waiting for your complaints. Your family cannot eat your excuses. Your future will not grow because of your tears. But your actions, your responsibility, will change everything. When you stop complaining, you stop being a victim, and you start being a creator. You stop blaming the world, and you start changing the world. You stop waiting for the future, and you start building it. So I ask you today, what will you choose? Will you stay trapped in the prison of complaints, or will you break free and take responsibility for your life? Because remember, The choice is always yours. No one can steal your future. Only you can give it away by complaining. And no one can create your future. Only you can do it by taking action. So from this day on, promise yourself one thing. Whenever life gets hard, whenever failure knocks on your door, whenever rejection slaps you in the face, do not complain, smile, learn, rise, build. Because the day you stop complaining is the day your real life begins. And I promise you, the life you deserve is waiting right on the other side of your complaints. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends.